Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about eyebrows or barbate or kilai or le sourcil. Did I offend anyone with my horrific accent? No? Okay, perfect. I'm going to show you a couple of the tools that I would use before I start the tutorial. So one of the easiest things to use, especially if you're starting out, is something like this. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in dark brown, I think I have. These are retractable pencils, so you can twist them out and twist them back in again, and they have a really fine tip so you can draw really nice small hairs and make them look as natural as possible. The next is the ABH Brow Definer, which is also retractable, but it has a triangular shape, so it's a lot easier to draw the hairs. I say easier, it's a lot quicker to draw the hairs. When I use this for my eyebrows, I'm done within a couple of minutes. The final tool I use is this number 12 brush by ABH. You can use any small angled synthetic head brush for this, but I like this one because it has a spoolie on the end. I like using this brush with this dip brow pomade, also from ABH, because it's really long lasting and it's waterproof. This product does not leave my eyebrows until I wipe it off. I also have a brow powder duo which I use to set my eyebrows, but I will show you later on in the tutorial that I use any neutral tone powder. And then finally, I have the NYX Control Freak Eyebrow Gel, which is fantastic at keeping those stray hairs in place. So as you can see, I look really bald without my eyebrows. It's so sad. I start by brushing my hairbrows. What is a hairbrow? I mean eyebrows, of course. I start by brushing my eyebrows through just so that they are sitting in the right direction and that no one has a mind of its own or trying to stand up for itself. No. Let's gel them down with the NYX Control Freak Eyebrow Gel. I'm always fascinated to see how other people do their makeup, especially their eyebrows, and I've noticed that lots of people just go in and fill in the sparse areas of their eyebrows, and then they wonder why their eyebrows look like they hate each other. Now, eyebrows should not be identical to each other. They say eyebrows should be sisters, not twins. So this is how we get them looking as similar as possible. Holding a pencil vertical against the tip of your nose shows you where you should start your eyebrow. And then you want to pivot. I'm going to give points to anyone who knows where that's from. You want to pivot from your nose through the pupil of your eye and up to where it reaches your eyebrow, and that's where your arch should be. If you see here, my arch is a tiny bit more inwards than where it should be. So I'm just going to create a little mark so I know where the highest point of the arc should be. And then finally, pivoting the pencil from the nose again so it lines up with the outer corner of your eye, and then where it touches your eyebrow, or where it should be, mine's a bit short, I'm just going to create a small mark where my eyebrow should end. And then doing the same on the other side, finding out where the eyebrow should start, where the highest point of the arch should be, and where the eyebrow should end. And then creating my little mark so that I can go in and start drawing them. I'm going to be using the ABH Brow Definer to do the tutorial. I like the darkest part of my eyebrow to be at the arch and then the tail of my brow rather than the front of my brow, so I never start on the inner side. I always go with the eyebrow which is hardest to do, and for me it's the right eyebrow because I have a small scar there. So I start by filling up the scar, and then I start by doing small hair-like strokes on the bottom side of the eyebrow and just generally going back and forth and filling up the eyebrow a tiny bit. My aim is to create almost a defined line on the bottom side, but I don't want it so strong and so harsh, so I create the small hair-like strokes and I go back and forth with the spoolie to blend that out. Then bit by bit I go and create smaller hair-like strokes throughout the inner section of the eyebrow just so that it blends a tiny bit better. I generally try to stay away from the front of the eyebrow at this point, so I go in and I fill the rest of the brow in, and then at the end I go in and do the front of the eyebrow. I find that if I do the front now, it becomes really dramatic. Here I'm just joining up the dot from where the arch should be to where the tail should be, and I'm just making sure that it's slightly rounded and filling up that empty gap. Make sure that you keep going back in and blending it all out with the spoolie. Now you can see the shape coming together a bit better. For that sparse area on the top of the eyebrow, I start by brushing the eyebrow hairs down, and then with a really gentle hand, I go in and I draw gentle hair-like strokes across the top of the eyebrow. Ideally, you want to be using the lightest hand you possibly can do here. If you go too heavy, it's okay. You can just go in with the spoolie and blend it out. And that is basically all I do with the pencil or the gel that I'm using. So here you can see almost a before and after of the eyebrow. I'm going to be doing the same on the other eyebrow, so I've already marked the points where it should start, where the highest point should be, and where the eyebrow should end. So once again, I'm going to begin by drawing small hair-like strokes across the bottom end of the eyebrow and just blending that upwards. And then going into the tail and just defining that. You can see that this eyebrow has a much better shape than the other eyebrow, mainly because the points, the starting point, the high point and the end point are all in the correct places, so it's much easier to do. And it's just a case of drawing on a tiny bit of the eyebrow, then stepping back and seeing does it look even. If it's too much, going in with the spoolie and just blending that out. So this eyebrow, the front part, is a bit more difficult to do than the other side because the hair is a bit more sparse. So now I'm almost done with the eyebrows. I'm just going to focus on the front side. So you see the left side is a bit more squared out. So I'm going to go in and square out the front of the right side, but with a really gentle hand. I don't want it looking like really solid Instagram eyebrows. And I didn't like how dramatic the top of my left eyebrow was, so I just blended that out a tiny bit with my finger. And then going back in with the dip brow, which is the very fine pencil from ABH, I went and created really tiny hair-like strokes, just where I thought there were a tiny bit of sparse areas. Once I'm happy with the overall shape of the eyebrow, I go in with a brow powder. This isn't actually a brow powder, this is an eyeshadow. This is from MAC, it's Kid, and I use this random, I think it's a lip brush, I think it is. I use it because it's really soft hairs and I don't want something that's really dense. So what I do is I go in with a lighter colour and I start by going on the inner side of the brows just to fill that area out without it looking so dramatic. Then taking a deeper neutral brown colour, just like the duo that I showed you in the beginning, I go in and I fill in the outer edges of my eyebrows just to soften that up a tiny bit. And then I go in one more time with a NYX brow gel just to secure all the brow hairs, and that is it! I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share, and I will see you in my next video.